Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Joe, coming at you today from Town Hall 10 with some no siege machine attacks. We got clan war attacks here from the Infinity Network. We're going to take a look at 3 different replays with 3 different armies or similar armies with no siege machines. So let's go ahead and get into this first replay, and we are going to do a little bit of play-by-play, pointing out the details and the reasons why the attack is successful in the first place. We have a heavy witch army with 10 witches, 4 healers, and 2 P.E.K.K.A.s, and the selection of the army is really based on the base itself with the single target Inferno Towers. Single target Inferno Towers, you're going to really take into consideration the use of the witch and basically overpower it. So we're going to start up here in the north side of the base, or the northwestern side, with a little bit of funneling to get started with a P.E.K.K.A. dropped. You're going to see 4 witches dropped in the northern point of the base with 2 healers, and 4 more drop back behind that P.E.K.K.A. with 2 healers as well. So they're basically setting up the funnel clearing on these outside buildings, dealing with some of these buildings on the top side of the base, and you're going to see the clan castle dropped in the center with 2 giants, some wall breakers, and a P.E.K.K.A., and they're going to open up this compartment and move the heroes inside the base. So we got a wizard, another group of witches, and the king and queen placed, and they are going to work their way inside this compartment. We got a rage spell dropped, and it looks like we have clan castle troops being a dragon, baby dragon, and some P.E.K.K.A.s, and some minions. Those aren't P.E.K.K.A.s, those are minions. And we have a jump spell placed to tie everything together, allowing our troops to move inside the base. Now there's going to be a freeze spell dropped on that single target Inferno Tower to protect the king, and it'll give him more time to get inside the base. He's going to work his way into the town hall. You're going to see a rage spell dropped in the center of the base, as well as a freeze spell on that queen's location and the 2 expos. Queen is working her way into, looks like, a single target Inferno Tower to take it down, and we still have witches and healers working their way around the outsides of the base at the same time. So basically, the point of this is for the P.E.K.K.A.s to get inside the core and gut the core, getting rid of the heavy defenses and the expos and the Inferno Towers, and you have the witches on the outsides clearing buildings from the outer flanks. So this is very similar to a Town Hall 9 Witchslap army. This is exactly what we're seeing right now. Now you'll notice that the healers down on the south side, they are gone. They're no longer with us, but there's witches still working on a wizard tower doing damage while the wizard tower is tied up on the skeletons. The queen is in the core, stuck on a wall at the moment. She's clearing out buildings up on the other side of the wall, and we have a P.E.K.K.A. and witches working their way towards the eastern side of the base. They're going to work on the outside, doing damage and clearing buildings along the way. And really, at this point, it's really based on the army itself. You're out of spells. You can no longer assist the army. The queen's going to get taken out by the 2 point defenses in the cannon and archer tower, but we still have plenty of the skeletons and the witches to get the job done. So we're going to go ahead and speed it up. That way we can see the end of the raid, and that way you can see the army for yourself. Witches are going to get taken out by some giant bombs, and this base will fall very nicely with this heavy witch army. So this is a possible army that you could take into consideration if you see the right parameters, meaning single target Inferno Towers and a similar base design like this one. P.E.K.K.A. will take out that final builder's hut, and there's your army. Let's go ahead and get into our second attack. In this next replay, you're going to get to see a different base design altogether. With the anti-3 design, you got a town hall placed in the top side of the base, and you also have Inferno Towers on multi-target mode in 2 different compartments across the base. So we're going to come in through the north or northwestern side of the base and basically funnel our troops into this Archer Queen's location and the Clan Castle's location. So we're going to start out with a little bit of queen walking. We do have a bowler P.E.K.K.A. army, 8 bowlers and 4 P.E.K.K.A.s, and a little bit of queen walking going on, so those healers will do a little bit of shifting throughout the attack. You got a queen place, you got a king place, and you have a few wizards doing some damage, and we're doing a little bit of funneling first, clearing out multiple buildings. That way we can push our bowlers and P.E.K.K.A.s inside the base with the use of a jump spell or 2. You got a P.E.K.K.A. place over there in the northeastern side working on a few point defenses with the assistance of a wizard, and they're going to basically work for a little bit longer before the bowlers and the P.E.K.K.A.s are dropped. Now you're going to see those P.E.K.K.A.s placed in this location, and you will notice that the buildings were purposely left here. These buildings were left here on purpose. That way our bowlers had something to target, and they will work into this location. So we got all the bowlers placed as well as all of the P.E.K.K.A.s, and they're going to work their way into these buildings in the cannon and the army camp. The king's ability is going to be used because he does find a hidden Tesla farm location, and there's going to be a jump spell placed for our bowlers and P.E.K.K.A.s to work their way inside inside the base. They're going to take on that first Inferno Tower, taking it down. Our queen has joined us inside the base, and you will also notice that we have clan castle troops in a baby dragon and some witches, so the poison spell is going to be placed in this location. And you'll notice that our healers are going to shift their attention from the queen over to the P.E.K.K.A, and then they're going to shift again following this P.E.K.K.A down behind the bowlers. So this is what's going to ultimately save our bowlers, because we do in fact have a baby dragon that's caught up in a poison spell, but there's no wizards there to assist. So the poison spell will take out that baby dragon. You're also going to notice a jump spell and another rage to basically save and move this P.E.K.K.A down into that Inferno Tower and Expo location, and the bowlers and P.E.K.K.As are going to get caught up on this wall, and they're going to work their way down into a heal spell into the final Expo. Heal spell's a little redundant here with the healers on them. I'm not really sure for the use of that, but he had it in the composition, so it doesn't really matter. Queen's ability will be used. She's going to get caught up on a wall, unfortunately, and get taken out by these archer towers. So we're going to be basically reliant on the bowlers and P.E.K.K.As to finish this up, but the healer and the healer coverage on these troops is going to basically keep this attack alive and having them move throughout the backside of the attack. You're also going to notice that there are some archers working on some buildings, but they're a little slower than wizards, so they're not able to take these buildings out. The intent is to take these buildings out and shift our P.E.K.K.A and bowlers up into these defenses, but unfortunately that's not the case, and the bowlers will split, and the P.E.K.K.A is going to be left by herself, but she's going to absorb the healer, and the healer is going to work on her, and they're going to be able to finish up this attack very nicely. So this is just something for you to try out, an army that is very solid versus the multi-target Inferno Tower. But again, you have to understand the queen walk, and you also have to understand how to funnel your troops into the core of the base. There's your army right there. Let's get into our final attack. In our final replay, we have a different base design with some multi-target Inferno Towers. Looks like we got an army that have 10 bowlers, 4 P.E.K.K.As, and a few baby dragons. You'll also notice that there are some earthquake spells in this army to open up the base. You got the town hall centrally located with the clan castle and the archer queen. We're going to do a little bit of queen walking / queen charging into the base. So we're going to start out with a few baby dragons to do a little bit of outside funneling to clear some of these outside buildings. There's a lot of trash ring buildings on the outside of this base, and it's really just going to throw off your funneling. If you're not a good funneler, it's not going to work. So baby dragons are working. Queen's going to be placed with all 5 of the healers with her, and it's basically going to work her way down towards the opening where the earthquake spells were dropped. We also have a P.E.K.K.A and a few bowlers dropped off to the northwestern side of the base to do a little bit of clearance of buildings and ensure that our queen goes inside the base. We have all the P.E.K.K.As dropped as well as the bowlers, and looks like we got a giant and some bowlers from the clan castle and that barb king working their way into this centralized corridor. So they're going to take on this corridor. There's a rage spell drop to strengthen up our bowlers and do damage to defenses and buildings all throughout this corridor, which takes a lot of pressure off of that archer queen. That archer queen is going to be tied up on the clan castle troops, which happen to be a lava hound and a balloon for a moment, and then when the hound pops, we'll see a rage spell dropped on her. So we have these P.E.K.K.As taking out the archer queen in the core, and the bowlers backing them up, doing damage to defenses on both sides. But they did unfortunately miss this cannon along the way. There was some damage done to it, but you know, it just didn't get taken out. Just not enough damage done by those bowlers. So the queen, you'll notice that she was able to take care of that lava house. She's going to take care of the town hall, and then she's going to backtrack and take out this wizard tower. And at this point in the raid, looks like we got P.E.K.K.As and king work their way down towards the south side of the base, and we have a nice little split going on with this P.E.K.K.A working its way down towards the southern compartment, while we have bowlers and P.E.K.K.As working their way towards the western side of the base. Now you'll notice that we have an Inferno Tower doing damage to our P.E.K.K.As and bowlers, and they're going to take out some of the bowlers along the way. The queen is caught up on the compartment wall. She's going to work her way into this Inferno Tower, but she's again going to get tied up and distracted by an air set skeleton trap. And so those skeletons are going to basically have this queen back and forth between targeting the Inferno Tower and the skeletons. She will in fact take down that Inferno Tower, which will leave us with a few buildings, actually a couple of defenses remaining, but we have plenty of P.E.K.K.As to get the job done. So you'll notice that there are some slight changes between the attack style without the siege machines. You'll notice there's more of a really heavy army. With the single target Inferno Towers, we had the witches used, and with the multi-target Inferno Towers, you'll notice that there are some P.E.K.K.A and bowler armies that you can try out for yourself. We're going to speed this one up, that way you can see the army for yourself, and hopefully you were able to get something out of this video today. If you enjoyed the content, smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and if you need any additional video support, click one of those links over there, and we'll see you in the next one, guys. Take care.